last year, one of the funnest things to do is just to go figure out where I go for dinner and who I have dinner with. And their stock price doubles the next day.
Samsung Electronics is using NVIDIA Cullitho to achieve up to 20x greater performance in computational lithography. South Korea's LG and Hyundai Motor Group are partnering with NVIDIA to build and scale AI. Many of you have expressed concerns regarding our gross margins as component costs have risen significantly. As you are already aware, we are experiencing extreme pricing conditions in memory. The magnitude of the price increase has exceeded our prior expectations and are headed even higher into next year. As a result, we are resetting expectations today. For Q3, we expect GAAP and non-GAAP gross margins to be 74%, plus or minus 50 basis points. We expect margins to bottom in Q4 in the 71 to 72% range, before settling at 72 to 73% in fiscal year 28, as executed price increases take effect in Q1. We want to be direct about this rather than let it linger as an open question. Memory scarcity today is being driven in large part by the AI build-out itself, and unlike a component that simply raises our cost with no offset benefit, tighter memory supply is a symptom of the same demand surge that's driving our own growth. We have long-standing, deep relationships with all three major memory suppliers, and we're working closely with them to further increase the capacity our roadmap requires.
Your next question comes from the line of Vivek Arya with Bank of America Securities. Your line is open.
Thanks for taking my question, and thanks for providing all the transparency and all the commitments and guarantees that you have for a number of years. When I just add up everything that's in the CFO commentary, I get to a number of about 500 billion or so, obviously over the next several years. So I had a few questions related to that. First is that the takeaway, that the sum of all your ecosystem investments over the next several years is in that ballpark, or are there other equity or other investments that could still be ahead? That's one. Secondly, if there is a specific cash, part of that that we should think about in fiscal 28. And then, Jensen, a lot of these investments are, designed to help the frontier labs, especially OpenAI and Anthropic. But both of them are designing their own custom chips. In fact, OpenAI just, in the last few days spoke about Jalapeno and their claims about being better than Blackwell and so forth. So how are you balancing this dynamic where you want to invest a lot in the ecosystem, but part of that ecosystem wants to develop competitive solutions? Thank you.
Well, we're building something very different. Whereas many of these XPUs are inference-specific chips for one cloud or one service, NVIDIA is a platform, an entire AI factory platform that spans the entire AI lifecycle that you can use in any cloud. It's in every cloud. You can run anywhere. We'll help you set it up anywhere. And so we built something very different. All of the AI services at some point are going to want to go around the world. And those data centers won't necessarily be just built by them. And also, I fully expect, and so they're going to run, and I think they're going to run on NVIDIA all around the world. And of course, I think our technology, I have 100% confidence that our technology will continue to be extraordinary for them, and that the economics of using our technology, whether it's from data processing to training, to post-training, to agentic processing, our technology is going to be extraordinary for them. They're going to use it. And so I'm very confident that they're going to be customers and partners of ours for a very long time. Now, having said that, taking a step backwards, investing in these two companies, or there are several AI labs that we've invested in, investing in these companies are once in a generation opportunity. I think the only regret that I have is that I didn't invest more and sooner. And two of the companies will likely go public soon, and others will follow. And these will be some of the most consequential technology companies in history.
So Vivek, let me add a little bit more regarding the commitments and the portion within those commitments, which is our supply commitments. This is essential. This is essential for the raising of Vera Rubin today, as well as all next year. You can see that those commitments, the biggest parts of them are in the first 3 years, and we will use that to build the products that we need. This would also gives us the confidence in terms of our growth and revenue, given how much we have already aligned in commitment in terms of our supply, as well as capacity that we would need.
Your next question comes from the line of Jim Schneider with Goldman Sachs. Your line is open.
Good afternoon. Thank you for taking my question. If you think about the 100% growth you talked about in terms of the unconstrained demand growth you're expecting, the 70% you expect to fulfill in terms of supply, can you maybe talk about or rank order some of the most acute constraints, whether that be things like data center power and shell availability, DRAM, wafer foundry availability, et cetera? If you could maybe help us understand, which are the biggest among those, that would be very helpful. Thank you.
There's something funny I could say, but I'm going to just not. Last year, one of the funnest things to do is just to go figure out where I go for dinner and who I have dinner with. And their stock price doubles the next day. I think the answer is our entire supply chain is challenged, and it's everybody is really running flat out. More capacity is coming online all the time, which is one of the advantages. What's going to happen this year? It's not going to come online in just an instance in time, but it's going to come online every day. Yields are going to get improved. We're going to be doing yield improvement. We're going to work hard on working with every one of our suppliers. It's not even next year yet. And so we've got lots and lots of time to work hard every day. And so at this moment, we have supply for 70%. We have more supply than 70%, but about 70%. Our demand is much higher than that. And we've got to go work hard, or we're going to be disappointing customers. And we like not to disappoint our customers, and we like to work hard for them. And so I'm going to need the help of the entire supply chain to help me out here. But they all know that. What I'm telling you about our needs for next year is exactly consistent with what I've told them.